pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, we have a quorum present, ready to go. There are two applications for the board's consideration for this evening. The first application is Bayport Collision Center, TC 5439, and I'd ask the clerk to please read the hearing notice.
TC number 5439, Bayport Collision Center. Applicant requests a modification of covenants and restrictions associated with TC 1474 in order to allow an approximate 250 square foot building addition built into a required 15-foot landscape buffer associated with a vehicle repair shop. This property is located in the Bayport Blue Point School District and located on the northeast corner of Montauk Highway and Lakeview Avenue in Bayport.
Good evening, honorable members of the town board. Keith Brown from Brown Altman LLP, 538 Bird Hollow Road, Suite 301 West, Melville, New York, 11747. I'm here on behalf of the Bayport Collision Center, and the applicant is here, Ben Romano. Our office last appeared before the town board on August 5th of 2024 to request to modify prior town board CNRs, but had to adjourn and go back to the planning department. Since that time, we've submitted revised elevations to the planning board and received approval on June 18th of this year, when the matter was then referred to this town board. Today, we're requesting modifications of the restrictions listed in TC 1474. For the board's convenience, an excerpt of the CNRs with a specific page has been submitted as Exhibit 1. In addition to the building was constructed by the previous owner, not my client, Ben Romano, that encroaches into the 15-foot landscape buffer required under TC 1474. Property was previously held in terrible condition prior to the applicant's acquisition of the lot. We've included several letters of support from some of the neighbors that have attested to the fact that Mr. Romano, since taking over ownership of the collision center, has made vast improvements to the facility and is not done yet. Once we receive tonight's approval and go get a variance that we need from the town ZBA, we'll be going to the town engineering department and getting the final permits that we need in order to make the final improvements that we're expecting to make. We actually had to wait for town architectural approval, so we were going back and forth on that. Now we received that, so we're ready to move forward. The site's been abandoned for several years. Let's get through that. He's invested a significant amount of money to remediate the property and make various aesthetic improvements. And in light of the significant financial investment made by the applicant to date, it's our desire to keep the building in its present condition without further modifications, hence the need why we need to modify this covenant of restriction. So to the extent the board has any questions, we respectfully request an approval tonight so we can proceed forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Are there any questions for Mr. Brown at this point? All right, if you would take a seat, we'll hear from the department.
Thank you, Supervisor Carpenter, members of the board. As stated by the applicant, this application proposes to legalize an addition to an existing vehicle repair shop that's been there many years, I believe since the mid-'70s. The applicant will be required to increase the landscaping and improve the architecture in substantial compliance with the Bayport Overlay District standards. The aesthetics of the site will be significantly improved with those improvements. So the staff has no objection to the application.
Thank you very much. Any questions for the department? Okay, Sean, thank you very much. Since there seems to be no issues with this, I'll entertain a motion.
Make the motion to close the hearing, issue the negative declaration, and approve the resolution as drafted.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Councilman O'Connor, second by Councilman McElway. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? It is approved.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great night.
You're very welcome. Our second item for consideration is 10 Grand Boulevard Realty, LLC, And I would ask the town clerk to please read the hearing notice.
TC number 5453, 10 Grand Boulevard Realty LLC, southwest corner of Grand Boulevard and Howells Road. I'm sorry. The applicant requests a modification of covenants and restrictions associated with TC 5097 in order to increase the outside storage area for construction equipment. This property is located in the Brentwood School District and located on the southwest corner of Grand Boulevard and Howells Road, Deer Park.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All set? Good evening, Madam Supervisor and members of the board. My name is Rachel Shelfo. I am a partner in the law firm of Farrell Fritz, PC. I'm a land use, municipal, and zoning attorney. With me tonight is Jackie Paranto from Key Engineering. She will help me answer any questions that the board has this evening. Thank you very much for seeing us and hearing from us today. This property is 1050 Grand Boulevard in Deer Park. This is the first parcel in the town. The lot to the immediate west is located in the town of Babylon. This is the southwest corner of Grand and Howells. The property is 12.09 acres and it is zoned industrial too. I wanted to start out to let you know that our neighbor to the south is the Brentwood West Middle School, and we talked to them in advance of this hearing. My clients and myself both spoke with Mr. Cruz, who's the facilities director. He's in charge of buildings and grounds. I also spoke with Ms. Stacy O'Connor, who's the assistant superintendent for the school district. Both stated that they did not have any concerns with respect to this application or regarding the proposal. We shared the proposed plans with them and offered a formal meeting. Neither saw the need for a formal meeting, and Ms. O'Connor stated that they would not be appearing with respect to the application. So I just wanted to let you know that. This parcel has prior town board approval as part of TC 5097. That was a modification of deed covenants and restrictions associated with TC 2453 to allow for outside storage of equipment. The applicant proposed 2 building additions at that time, as well as site work, in addition to the outside storage. The applicant did not ultimately end up pursuing the additions to the building, but did proceed and conduct all the site work that was proposed at that time, and they received a CO for that site work. Outside storage on the east side of the site was approved for heavy construction equipment and vehicles, aerial lifts, forklifts, compressors, generators, registered vehicles. The approved setbacks at that time were 85 feet from Howells and 260 feet from Grand Boulevard. The height was approved at a maximum height of 40 feet. Outside storage on the west side, which is adjacent to the town of Babylon parcels, was for registered vehicles, rigging gear, mechanical equipment, and crane boom trucks. The approved setbacks there were 140 feet from Grand Boulevard and 5 feet from the rear property line. The maximum height for that area was approved at 25 feet. We also went to the zoning board at that time, case number 43212, to get relief from the code for storage of heavy construction vehicles and related equipment within a secondary front yard, and that relief was granted. We also went to the planning board as well as to the engineering department to obtain site plan approval and special use permits for sale, lease, or rental of heavy construction equipment, a spray booth, and vehicle repair, which was for their own vehicles. This application is to modify the prior town board covenants and restrictions to be able to increase the outside storage and to increase and bolster the landscaping and screening surrounding those outside storage areas. So we are proposing a new landscape berm at 3 feet in height with an 8-foot wide plateau at the top, which will be planted with a double row of evergreens at 6 to 8 feet in height as per town board spec. The berm is in addition to 24 new street trees adjacent to Howells Road, plus 5 that are existing trees, so 29 trees total. In addition to the street trees and the 3-foot high berm, the applicant is proposing a 6-foot chain link fence with green privacy slats. All of this is in an effort to screen the outside storage, from Howells and along the south property line, which is adjacent to the school. And we shared these plans with the school district. So the outside storage is currently in the same two general locations as it was at that time, behind the building, adjacent to the Town of Babylon property, and in the secondary front yard off of Howells. However, we're seeking approval now to expand those areas. For the sake of clarity and at the recommendation of planning, Key Engineering has broken down those outside storage areas into 5 labeled outside storage areas, which we can point out if the board wants. They're also included in the board's hearing exhibit booklet, and they are attached in the site plan, which is submitted for the board's review at Exhibit 8. Oh, sorry. I'm looking at the landscaping, Exhibit 5. But Jackie, maybe it is helpful to kind of just go through it very quickly. Storage area A is the central storage area that's facing Howells Road. This is the same general area that was approved in 2012 to 13. That storage is staying at 260 feet from Grand Boulevard and not being moved any further north. Storage area B is a smaller storage area at the southeast corner of the lot and closest to Udall. Equipment height will not exceed 10 feet. This will be where shorter equipment is stored, like the light towers that are used for nighttime construction work. And they're like kind of these short
Yeah, okay.
pieces. I'm sure you guys are familiar. Storage area C is behind B. It is an asphalt paved area with striping for equipment vehicles and trailers and meets up with the south side buffer. Storage area D behind the building. This is for rigging gear, mechanical equipment, and registered vehicles, and is an expansion of what was previously approved in 2012-2013. The rear yard setback will stay at 5 feet, which is what was previously approved. And the last new storage area is a small triangle adjacent to the buffer south of the building for the storage of rigging gear and mechanical equipment. We are also seeking legalization of 4 accessory structures. These are small office trailers that are outside office trailers used for dispatch, monitoring incoming and outgoing trucks, trailers, and equipment. An outside canopy, which is for the storage of scissor lifts, so they are not stored out in the elements, protection of that equipment. And a Quonset hut, which stores some small parts, and it is for a covered area to keep them outside of the element. We are adhering to the town code's new requirement for buffers adjacent to residential, which is Town Code 68-367, amended in April of this year, that the landscape buffer needs to be at least 50 feet in width according to town standards. In working with planning prior to going for the planning board, we made sure that that was satisfied. We are also proposing a 6-foot chain link fence with cedar stockade, attached 3-foot high, and that it will be by the 3-foot high landscape berm and the double row of evergreen plantings, which are going in at 6 to 8 feet. We are here to address any questions or concerns that you may have, and we would ask that you respectfully reserve your decision tonight so that we may continue discussions with the planning department and the engineering department on the issues of landscape fee, landscape mitigation fee, as well as sidewalks. So we are proposing, we have estimates for the landscaping that we're proposing, which is super dense. We're proposing it at $250,000 in terms of the estimates that we have for that landscaping we're putting in on top of the 3-foot berm. In addition, the sidewalks will be 950 linear feet of sidewalks that would be built because it's such a large property, and we're amenable to doing so, but that's also at a cost between the sidewalks and the new curbing. That will be another roughly $300,000. So if you calculate out the landscape mitigation fee, that's coming out to over $439,000. So to pay that in addition to what we're seeking to do to this site to improve it and really make it, a first-class industrial site for this area, and to give all that screening that we want to give for the community. We are just having some trouble with that, and we want to be able to meet with planning to discuss that. We also have a meeting with Chris Poker scheduled for next week regarding the sidewalks. So to accommodate the width of the sidewalks, some of the stuff that's there now, like the landscaping, the rock wall, is going to have to be moved back, and like new retaining walls are going to have to be put in. So that's just something that we wanted to be able to review as well.
Are there any questions at this point?
I had one question. I apologize. I must have missed it in my briefing with planning. I wasn't aware of the legalization of the 5 accessory structures. So you kind of pointed them out on the site plan. Doesn't look like any of them have any setback issues, but I imagine that you would, upon receiving approval of this, go through the building permit application on those as-built already accessory structures, so that it would allow our people in the town to go out and inspect and make sure those accessory structures are safe and to code.
That's 100% accurate. So I come out of the town of Babylon. I was the planning commissioner there for the last 6 years, and I'm newly back to practicing law. And you're absolutely right. Anything that's there now will have to 100% go through the building department, meet all state building code requirements. We'll have to go through the inspection process, and we fully agree and concur with that.
And fees.
We're good with all of this, really, and even doing the sidewalks and the landscaping. It's a matter of then also having to pay a mitigation fee when we're already trying to mitigate.
I'll let you work that out with planning as you suggest.
Thank you. Sean, do you want to come forward?
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot I was tied up. Don't be sorry.
Thank you. As stated by the applicant, this application proposes to legalize the clearing of required buffers from the old approval and expansion of outdoor storage of construction equipment. The applicant will be providing the 50-foot buffer to the south where the Brentwood School is, in compliance with new Industrial 2 zoning standards, as well as approximately 30 to 40-foot buffer along Howells Road, which will provide significant screening of the outdoor storage from, motorist view and the maybe some residential neighbors to the south. No objections have been raised by the school district that we're aware of or any of the neighbors. The buffer landscaping along Howells is pretty much standard mitigation treatment when we're talking about screening of outdoor storage. The traffic safety and engineering were amenable to a 4-foot sidewalk along Howells Road and I believe up through Grand with occasional 5-foot path for passing. So that's what we worked out with staff so far. We're happy to have the conversation about the mitigation fee. It is significant, but the old approved site plan did comply with the landscaping. It's just that the applicant cleared all the buffers that were then required, that the landscaping has gotten significantly below the minimum required numbers.
Any questions for the department? No? Okay. I understand that you wanted to reserve, so we will make the motion to do so, but I would ask in the interim, you put on the record that the school district had no problems with that, with what's going on, so I would suggest that you get that in writing and have it for us before we opine on this.
So as I understand it, Sean, may I?
Sure.
As I understand it, Sean, we're going to reserve tonight at the request of the applicant. You and the applicant, they have further meetings that they have to have with engineering, and you and the applicant will meet as it relates to the mitigation fee. And when it gets put on as a decision item, you'll update us on what the outcome is as a result of the negotiations on the mitigation.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Okay, are there any other questions or comments for the department? Otherwise, I will make a motion to recess, adjourn. Do I have a second?
I would, may I just,
Sure.
I would just, if I could, ask that we amend the motion to close the public hearing
I'm sorry, yes.
so that the hearing doesn't remain open and we reserve decision.
Okay, so we have a motion to close the public hearing and reserve decision. I'll second that motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved, and motion to adjourn.
Second.
We stand adjourned. All in favor.